Introduction: the man who never met a simple idea he couldn't overcomplicate. Welcome, brave reader, to the intellectual theme park ride no one asked for, the world of Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, philosophy's reigning heavyweight champion of turning one-sentence thoughts into 600-page migraines. This is the man who looked at clarity, simplicity, and accessibility and said, "Nein, danke." Who was Hegel? Or how a German nerd became philosophy's most impenetrable writer. Hegel was born in 1770 in Stuttgart, which is basically the philosophical equivalent of being born in a fog bank. By all accounts, he was a quiet, brooding child, which makes sense because he was busy inventing ideas so dense they could collapse skies. While most of us look at the world and think things like, "That's a tree," or "I'm hungry," Hegel was busy pondering how the idea of freeness negates itself through internal contradiction and reemerges as the synthesis of itself and its opposite. That's not an exaggeration. That's just Tuesday for Hegel. He studied theology, naturally, because nothing says, "Let's ruin dinner conversations for generations," quite like mixing God with German philosophy. Eventually, he wrote The Phenomenology of Spirit, a book so dense it makes black holes feel insecure. Reading it is like being trapped in an escape room designed by a drunken librarian with a thesaurus addiction. Why people pretend to understand him? Spoiler, no one actually does. Here's the thing. Nobody really understands Hegel. Not professors, not scholars, not even Hegel probably. If you say dialectic enough times and look vaguely constipated, people just assume you get it. See, in the world of highbrow philosophy, admitting you don't understand Hegel is like showing up to a wine tasting and saying, "This just tastes like grapes." You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to nod solemnly and say things like, "Ah, yes, the negation of the negation." Very rich. Reading Hegel has become a rite of passage for intellectual masochists everywhere. Understanding him? That's optional. The important thing is to make it look like you do. Bonus points if you can insert sublation into a sentence without bursting into laughter. How to fake your way through a conversation about Hegel without reading him? First of all, don't panic. No one else has read him either. They've read about him, and that's your ticket in. Here's your quick start guide to Hegelian bullshittery. 1. Say dialectic early and often. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it means. Neither does anyone else. 2. Casually mention thesis, antithesis, synthesis, then immediately scoff and say, "Of course that's a simplification." People love that. 3. Refer to things as becoming instead of being. It makes you sound deep and slightly mystical. What is love, you ask? It's not being, it's becoming. Boom, you just dropped a Hegel bomb. 4. Use the word sublate at least once. No one knows what it means, including Merriam-Webster, but if you use it confidently, people will be too afraid to challenge you. And remember, if someone asks you what the Phenomenology of Spirit is about, look pained and say, "It's not about anything. It's about the process of becoming itself." Then pretend to get a phone call and walk away. You win.